This article is from December 21st from Vice. And by the way, Vice is the perfect name for them because an addiction to something that it's not good for you, but you do it anyway. That's Vice. And it says, scientists explain why doing your own research leads to believing conspiracies. And by scientists, they mean some guy whose grant funding dried up, I'm pretty sure. Not an actual, this is real. So here we go. If you've ever found it puzzling that do your own research is a slogan for conspiracy theorists of all stripes, that's a slogan for conspiracy theorists? That's what...
Never heard anyone say that once outside of people making fun of it as if someone had said it.
When I was in college, my professor used to say that to us.
Just teachers. Only people I ever heard say it.
Yeah.
Don't cheat. You have to do your own research.
I have it tramp stamped right here back on the phone. Do your own research.
Scientists explain why investigating murders sometimes leads to arrests. While conventional wisdom, this is a real article from the 21st of December. While conventional wisdom holds that researching the veracity of fake news would reduce belief in misinformation, a study published on Wednesday so a study? So you mean some people were doing their own research? So a study published in Nature. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Nature is where Fauci got that article published that said that the Wuhan virus came from an animal and not from a lab. That was also in Nature.
Yes, it was a Pokemon. Yes, it was in Nature.
So that bullshit publication Nature, who lied to you about COVID, has found that using online search engines to vet conspiracies can actually increase the chance that someone will believe it. I have found it puzzling that you keep saying that. That is puzzling. Then again, I'm puzzled as to why just asking questions is now seems it's some kind of fucking terrorism or something. Oh,
Not just asking. You're trying to blow shit up.
Researchers point to a known problem in search called data voids.
Great name for a band.
Data voids. Okay, data voids. Sometimes there's not a lot of high-quality information to counter misleading headlines or surrounding fridge. Data voids. Could that be because the good information is classified? Leaving a void, if you will? God forbid I should have to... Anyway, so when someone sees an article online about an engineered famine due to COVID... By the way, if you're looking up engineered famines, I'm guessing you can't afford an OnlyFans account. Okay. So... when someone sees an article online about an engineered famine due to COVID-19 lockdowns and vaccines and conducts an unsophisticated... Are you doing an unsophisticated search, you fucking plebes? Based on those keywords, they may find articles that reaffirm their bias. And just remember, there are no such things as conspiracies. Everything's just a whoops. Everything...
You can use that in court if you're ever charged with conspiracy to do something.
Hang on. In particular, Tucker, not Tucker Carlson, this some Tucker guy they're quoting from this article, he explained that their research team was interested in knowing how people verify news that's just happened and hasn't yet had a chance to be verified by fact checkers like Snopes or PolitiFact.
How do they do it?
How did we get information before Snoops? Like, how did we know?
So, how can we ever find out what's going on if we don't first go to an outlet like Snopes, who the founder of it got fired for being a repeated plagiarist?
And also, don't read the whole Snopes. Just read the headline of Snopes and move on.
And PolitiFact. So both of those have fact-checked the Jimmy Dore show incorrectly. And what it always turns out to be was they had a quibble with my headline.
You didn't have enough context.
That's right. I didn't get any facts wrong. Nothing I said was incorrect. They just didn't like the way my headline read.
It's unsophisticated, Jimmy.
That's it. I have no idea.
I go to Snopes if I want to learn how to money launder for escorts. That's what I go there for.
I have no idea what the word sophisticated means. Because I'm a dumb cow.
Yeah.
Thanks, science. In the first experiment of their study, which began in the late 2019, some 3,000 people across the U.S. evaluated the accuracy of news articles that had been published in a 48-hour period about topics like COVID-19, vaccines, the Trump impeachment proceedings, and climate events. Wow, every last single thing they would want absolute fucking narrative control over. Isn't that something? All three of those things. They even itemize them in a row like that. The only way you can make it easier to see is if they just came out and said that they are a conspiracy that this theory is about. So some articles were collected from reputable sources. You mean reputable like the New York Times and the Washington Post and MSNBC and CNN. You know, the outlets that have lied to you about Iraq, Libya, Syria, Ukraine, Afghanistan for 20 years.
They have a reputation for that.
Have a reputation. Lockdowns, vaccines, masks, everything they've lied. You know, that's what we got to get to a reputable source. Half of all the participants were encouraged to search online to help them vet the articles. At the same time, all of the articles were given a true, false, or misleading, or could not determine label by professional fact checkers. Hey, here's a fact check. The term professional fact checkers is a bullshit fucking term made up by a bunch of billionaires who want to trick you into believing they're bullshit. There's no such thing as a professional fact checker. Is there a course in college you can take? Professional fact checking? I got my degree in fact checking. Really? I'd like to fact check that.
I just hope the fact checkers weren't doing their own research.
Oh, yeah.
Pros.
I would like to have a good talk with the people who wrote this article, but maybe having a talk with them would mean I was doing my own research.
Yeah, it's like being a crocodile hunter. Only a really qualified person can do it.
That's right. What we find, this is what they find over and over again, is that people are over-relying on these search engines or their social connections. They put this blind faith in them, said Chirag Shah, a professor of information science. Again, there's no such thing as a professor of information science.
I don't think that name is real either, to be honest. That's a Star Wars name.
So they went and they quoted a guy with a Star Wars name who's a professor of information science at the University of Washington who wasn't even involved in the fucking study. They think they've done their due diligence and checked, but it makes it worse than not checking.
I thought nothing was worse than that.
Oh, did you guys go try to find stuff out? That's worse.
But did you ask someone you don't trust that you're pretty sure hates you?
Remember before COVID, doing your own research meant that you were reading something. And so now they're just shaming people for...
Cut that shit out.
Four most dangerous words are do your own research. I always thought it was will you marry me, but apparently...
I thought it was make America great again.
So it seems counterintuitive because I'm an educator and we encourage students to do this. Yes, that's what you're supposed to do. Now there's like, okay, class, whatever you do, don't look into it. Do not do your own reading. Do only the reading in class, and I'll read it to you. The problem is people don't know how to do this. They don't know how to do their own. That's the problem, you stupid fucking unwashed masses. You don't know how to do your own research like an information scientist. Digital literacy curricula. Digital literacy curricula. Again, there's no fucking such thing.
If there's no such thing, how come it costs $80,000?
Digital literacy curricula shouldn't just say to search, but instead offer advice on how to search.
You know, Scientology teaches you how to do that.
Oh, really?
Don't look into Xenu, it's not a thing.
Yeah? So they asked, who said that? Kevin Aslet. He's an assistant professor at the University of Fuckfaces. And he's the co-author of the study. He told Motherboard, he and his fellow researchers suggest paying attention to the source of the information you're searching, not just the content.
So prejudice?
So like if it comes from Vice or something like that, I would discount it. Is that what he means?
Yeah.
You're basically saying, show me the legacy media article talking about how the legacy media is lying. Is that what you're looking for?
That's what they want, yeah.
Just wait for Snopes. Is it so hard?
Is it so?
Don't make your mind up until Snopes decides to read it.
Can't you wait for a Bill Gates funded fact-checking organization to tell you what to think? Aslet added that more resources needed to be pumped into fact-checking organizations so they can at least start to fill the data void that exists. That's the last thing we need.
Who do they think they are, Ukraine?
For example, the About This Result feature allows people to see more context around a result by clicking the 3 dots next to it. I don't know what this means. Does anybody know what does that mean? About this result? And the 3 dots, does anybody know?
That'd be like when you post something, let's say on Twitter or on Facebook, they have like, well, here, why don't you take a look at this article too? That might
the thing they
fit you.
hypertext.
Not to question us.
I don't know what it is. I swear to God.
I looked it up because I wanted to see what were the specific disreputable and reputable sources, which you have to pay for the one that tells you that. It's a hyperlink.
Really?
Yeah. And but it's all using very reliable methods invented in 2016 when Trump won to decide who is unreliable. So I'm not paying for that. I don't give a shit now at this point. But they're going by 2016, just after Trump won, what they decided was disreputable for this science experiment.
So Google, listen to this. Google also provides content advisories when a situation is rapidly evolving or when they know there isn't a lot of reliable information. So Google is the people who are reliable. Fucking Google, whose motto used to be do no evil, and then they decided, hey, let's get rid of that.
It's like a parental warning label or something. Like, do you ever see a thing where they go, this is rapidly evolving? Like, oh yeah, that sounds plausible and not like a cover-up of some... Like, who wrote rapidly evolving? Why might change the narrative at any moment?
Why would Google even take that down? Like, you know, it's just so, like, just leave it there for plausible deniability, right? But no, it was like, they knew they were pulling so much BS that they're like, it was just constantly just a reminder of how far away they've gotten away from the truth that they had to take it down because it was just shunning them the whole time.
You know, because they knew they were doing evil. That's why. No. The spokesperson also emphasized that several independent studies attest that Google surfaces significantly higher quality top results with less misinformation than other search engines. You know who said that? Somebody from Google said that. At Google, we design our ranking systems. That's exactly somebody from Google.
Do you remember when Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson made a movie about trying to be older guys working at Google?
Yes. Yeah.
And shortly after, Owen Wilson tried to kill himself. What? Yeah, look it up.
So Google, they designed their ranking systems to emphasize quality and not to expose, they're like Zenith. Anyway, the quality goes in before the name goes on. At Google, we design our ranking systems to emphasize quality and not to expose people to harmful or misleading information that they are not looking for. Hey, I don't need some Silicon Valley fucking billionaire-funded bullshit organization to keep me from information you think is harmful. You know who does that? That's what fucking dictatorships do. They always are saying they're gonna keep you away. Oh, it's the bad information. We're keeping you from that. And now it's Silicon Valley, which is the biggest fucking Nazi organization in the history of the world. They're gonna do it, and it's always for your good, ladies and gentlemen, because you couldn't handle. I'm too dumb. You know, I used to, when I was in the checkout line at Ralph's, I used to think there, when I would look at the National Enquirer, there really are Gila monsters.
That's a type of lizard. That's a real type of lizard. Well, are you sure it was Enquirer?
I'm saying I did know that.
But what, like, all this, oh, you might be exposed. They did nothing about porn and child porn the whole time. That's the thing, if I saw, I'm like, Jesus Christ, could you have made sure I wasn't exposed?
No, you're going to be exposed to it.
Bat Boy was real, though, for sure. Bat Boy was real.
Bat Boy?
Bat Boy on the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
That was not National Enquirer. That was Weekly World News. This is misinformation, this whole show. And that's because we don't have a quality professional fact checker here. That's why this bullshit you've just been exposed to. You gotta go rinse your eyes and your ears. You've been exposed.
You've been exposed.
This is a Fukushima of misinformation.
And we also provide people tools that help them evaluate credibility of sources and see a wide range of perspectives, even if they already have an idea in mind. Doesn't that sound like we are going to shape what you think and think? We're the brain shapers. We're helping.
Is this about when they forced a U2 album onto my phone for the last 12 years? Are those the tools they're talking
I
about?
think that's the tools. Okay, that's enough.
You know, I think what's really interesting, not once in this article did they point out Wikipedia.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, because Wikipedia, when I was teaching, I used to be a high school English teacher for over 20 years. Hold your applause. And we told the students when they would do any research, God forbid that we ever told kids to do research. Yeah. I feel like an asshole. But we told them that they shouldn't use Wikipedia.
Yeah, we all bipartisan agree that it sucks. Everybody.
Now they all
left.
use it as sources. They use Wikipedia.
Well, the students,
as a
yeah,
source
because the
now.
school sucks. But I just mean nobody thinks Wikipedia is good. Whatever spectrum you're on, everybody thinks it sucks.
Well, I think Wikipedia is okay. Like Brett Weinstein said when he came on the show, he said it's good unless you are trying to look up something that's controversial or new or a person, right?
All these people are missing.
Okay.
The first sentence in my Wikipedia entry, Jimmy Dore, conspiracy theorist. That's what it says.
Same.
Which conspiracy?
Yeah.
Which conspiracy did I get wrong? I got them all fucking right.
It's better than mine.
And they quote CNN saying that Jimmy Dore said the Syrian gas attacks were a hoax. Turns out Syrian gas attacks were a hoax, as proven by Aaron Matei's reporting of the whistleblowers inside the OCCW. Of course they were a fucking hoax, but Wikipedia still says that it's real, so the bullshitters are again Wikipedia.
A woman sniffed a scarf. I saw it with my own eyes.
The real.
You know you hate women, that's why you didn't believe her.
You know, what's very interesting, a couple slides ago, they were talking about social contact. And like a lot of this, do your own research, which we've all been doing forever, but people really got into it, came during the lockdowns. And we weren't allowed to socialize, and we weren't allowed to connect with each other. And we had to stay away, so all we had was time. And we had this thing that no one's seen ever before where we weren't allowed to go out, and they were telling us to do everything opposite of what real health experts have. They told us not to go outside, not to get in the sun, not to work out, not to do any of that
that's
stuff.
being a Nazi if you work out.
Okay. So it was like, so people just started doing research, and then we had Mark Zuckerberg come out and literally say that fact checkers were just opinions. That's what he said.
He did say it.
In the same court as Rachel Maddow's sparkly story judgment.
Come see us do a live stand-up show. We'll be in Venice, California, Palmdale, California, Omaha, Des Moines, Milwaukee, Lansing, Bend, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, Boston, Massachusetts, and we're going to Europe. Do you live in Europe? We're going to be there. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.